Okay. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're at. This is part 5 of Concept Amaterasu BKA presents Adobe Sessions. Wait, no, that's the wrong way around. This is BKA presents Adobe Sessions. This is part 5 of Concept Amaterasu. This, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, I hope will be the final chapter in this long and audience. Audience, like, can I say that word? This long saga. Let me not try and use words that I don't even know completely. Yes, this long and very. It's been long, man. It's been long. So this is a piece that's taken just around, let's say, approximately 4 hours, because the videos are an hour at least. So there's 4 of them. So this is 4 hours of work on Adobe Illustrator, and I'm hoping this will be the final one today because we can move on to something new, post more new content. I've been messing around with Photoshop, so I'm a bit more already with the familiarization I've got with Photoshop now. I can see why people as artists prefer it to Illustrator, but still got to do my thing here. And right, so where we're at is there's not really that much to do. It's small details. I'm kind of liking the way this looks. One thing we can add though, I guess, would be a sun. Yeah, so that's where we're gonna start. So if you haven't already subscribed, you definitely might want to do that. If you are so inclined, that way you enjoy the content of the work. You know, I'm not gonna say subscribe if you ain't feeling it, but if you are feeling it, definitely give it a like. Definitely subscribe. There'll be more of this stuff coming. And if not, then by all means, don't. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't. But, but if you do like the work, sorry about that. If you do like the work, definitely make it. You'll be doing me a massive favor by doing that. Help my channel grow, and also, yeah, it's just it's a nice vibe, man. The vibing, man. So, I think what we're gonna do is I like the idea of having a sun there, but my problem is I've added the clouds to the same layer as the background sky. So that is going to be see, this is what I don't get. I'm pressing undone, but it's not undoing it. Anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna have to add this on a separate layer, and yeah, that's what we're doing. So yeah, if you don't know anything about my work, definitely check out some other videos, seeing how I got to this process. Check my Instagram. That's where most of my work can be found at the moment. I'm definitely trying to make the transition of transferring my work ethic onto these platforms, YouTube, because Instagram's moving funny, man. Instagram moving funny, like sorry guys. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. So Instagram is just moving funny, like, and it's just getting to the point now. It's just like, because I mean, I really only have these social media things for my work. Like outside of me posting my art, I'm not really and I do like live readings on right now I'm doing Thus Spoke Zarathustra by Frederick Nietzsche. I'm definitely gonna try and upload those up to the channel. Yeah. So beyond that and this, like, bro, I don't really have no much purpose for it. And as time goes on and just the content that is on social media, it just makes me wanna, well, Instagram in it, because that's mainly what I use. Beyond Instagram, I don't really engage in social media, because Instagram is where most of my fan base is regarding my work. But yeah, it's coming to the point now. I'm like, well, you know what, man? If I'm gonna start making a jump and I want to find my content, people want to find my content elsewhere, YouTube would definitely be a good place. And it's just mainly, man. It's just, I'll be honest. It's just the amount of foolishness. Well, I say foolishness is a harsh word, but the content that I am seeing on Instagram makes me think maybe the content I make would be better off somewhere else. So I'm definitely trying to. Like, I don't think I'll delete it, because that is another place for people to find my work. But definitely in the process of trying to make sure my work has its own base away from that stuff. Um, my website, I was in two minds about whether I should make one this year, because I'll be honest, I've had it in the past, and there would become a point where it just felt a bit like redundant having it. Like, things weren't really moving the way that I wanted them to. So I was just like, maybe I could just like not have it. But that seems to be me just trying to take the shortcut. I'm only gonna benefit. I'm only gonna benefit, right, by having a YouTube, by having its own website. But it's whether I'm willing to invest that time and the money into doing it. Well, the time, not really, really, because you know what, the website's already kind of there, the template. Um, yeah, um, yeah, the template's kind of there, but it's just like the how much traction the website was getting. But I guess that's more to do with me, and you know, I like that. I feel like the sun should be like there. It should be like, how does that look? Could even be behind her. You know what? I do like that. I wasn't really intending to give her the Aurorus or Corona. Wait, I can't. I don't think I could say that. But Corona's how you say Halo in Italian. I'm not talking about the virus that's going around. Aurorus, a Halo. Yeah, that is what I'm trying to put here. I like that, man. I do like that. But I was thinking, do I really? Because I mean, it definitely does look like the sun, right? It does look like the sun. But if I made it bigger, maybe it'll be. But you know what though, man? As I'm really am learning, like all these Adobe programs, and I can see why some people prefer Photoshop. But I feel like in terms of like maybe it's logo creating, like someone else I think said to me in the past, it's like if you're creating logos and that, Illustrator is better because you can really like just do stuff like this, right? Modification on the sizes, and it seems Illustrator's a bit more like if you're just drawing, painting for real. Like I could see Photoshop does make a bit more sense now that I've actually been messing around with it a bit. But in terms of this kind of stuff where you're really working on the intricacies of a piece, like it's a logo, I can see Adobe making more sense to people. Adobe Illustrator, that is. So okay, this is where we're at the moment. I'll be honest, like obviously this chapter, this episode, hopefully will be the last one because most of the work has been done. Most of the work has been done. So this is all just really touching up stuff, and I hope to good. Oh, look at me, even it's all just a mess. It's all just a mess. Like these layers, sorry, these layers, they're crazy. Like, why is the sun on that layer? The sun shouldn't be on that layer. Whatever, though, man. I knew something was a bit funny. Whatever. Like, if it could look fine, it could look fine. I also noticed as well, it's a lot easier to deal with the layers in Photoshop. That's what I did notice. I don't know how much of a bearing it actually has on me. Maybe it's just because I feel like the layers will change automatically here. But on Photoshop, there's more prompting required to change the layer that you're on, which I find extremely useful, personally. Um, yeah, so let's just see how this goes. What I do find funny is, look, even though I'm laying this on top, okay, that's why. Okay, cool. Huh. I was like, why is it not dying? My layers are really messed up, as you can tell. But we move. Definitely don't want to get caught up in that too much. Most of it's been done. It is what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? And just got to move forward and learn. So I hope everyone's week's been alright. Mine's been okay. Definitely could have been better. Definitely could have been worse. Do you know what I'm saying? That's life, man. That's life. And why is that? What? That's what I don't understand. This is. Have I got some? Boy, I tell you, it's not easy, man. It's not easy where I'm from, man. Right, because the water would be more shallow here, so that makes more sense for it to be lighter. Yeah, it makes more sense for it to be lighter on these sides. See, I know what I'm doing, kinda, right? Like, you know what I mean? Make it make a bit more sense. My week's been okay. Did a little fast yesterday. I try a fast weekly, in the very least. You know, as they try to, because I love food, man. Like, who doesn't? I mean, when I say I love food, like, bro, I wake up in the morning. Obviously, we give thanks, give praise to the Creator for being, for another day here on Earth. But, bro, food is like one of the first things I think about. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe it's coming from. Maybe I should need some loving or something. I don't know, man. I don't know if that should be the first thing on my mind, like. But it is, man. I love food that much. I'm like, what am I gonna have for breakfast? I know what I'm gonna have for breakfast. Most like, you know what I mean. Most time it's fruit, granola, but I need to cut out the granola, man. Cause it's just I eat too much. I overindulge, man. That's my problem. But it's a learning curve. My thing is if you don't learn it in this lifetime, um, depending on your belief system, I genuinely do believe that you cannot progress in like I believe something happens after you die, and I think you can't go through that next process until you sort out your problems down here. You know what I mean? That might sound real nice to some people, like reincarnation, but me honestly, I mean it is a nice thought. Some people say it's a nice thought, it's a comforting thought, but it's just like that's what makes sense to me. It's like family. If you're just like when you're in school, I know in America they hold you back if you don't, if you don't, if you're not up to par with the thing. Like if you don't pass whatever test they do at the end of the year, you're getting held back. I don't know how it works. I'm pretty sure there must be some sort of things to it. But yeah, basically here in the UK, you're getting passed on anyway. It doesn't matter whether how ready you are for the next stage of your education. You're gonna get pushed onto that unless there's something like really wrong. But from my from my experience, that is rarely ever the case. Like no matter how behind someone may seem, they're still making it to the next year. Do you know what I mean? Um, I can't speak again for America. Like, it's different down there. But yeah, I believe life to be a bit like that. Like you can't move on into the next stage of your development until you sort out the stuff. And I don't believe in like you going to hell. I believe you through your own mistakes and your own faults are a hell unto itself. So I do find it a bit what's the word I want to use? It's just very. I don't believe in a sadistic deity that would want to inflict more pain upon you than the one you've already inflicted upon yourself, right? So like you got someone that's really miserable, right? People like hurt people, right? Have you heard that saying? So when you get someone miserable, they want on all they can do is make other people miserable. What kind of person would you have to be now to go out your way and you're cool, right? You're cool within yourself, but you want to go out your way to make that person more miserable than they already are. You know they're already miserable. I don't believe. See, I don't see it like that. Like what I mean. That's not what I believe. Almighty deity would want to do. Make you more miserable than you already are. You've already punished yourself through the action. You don't need no more punishment than that. Like through the consequences of your actions, you're going to get your punishment. You know what I mean? You haven't got to add anything on top of that. You reap what you sow, as they say. And yeah, more than that, it's just sadism, if I can pronounce it like that. Yeah, it's just you know cruelty almost, isn't it? It's cruelty. You say, oh, you deserve it and whatnot. But nah, man. For me, that's just cruel behavior. Like you don't need to be doing that. you know, X, Y, and Z. You know, but who am I? I'm not a god, so you know what I mean. That's just my sort of opinion on that. But I do believe that yeah, you as an individual will have to sort yourself out, and best in this lifetime than the next one. You know, how's that looking actually? I do like the idea of two sons. I do, but let's just keep it to one. Too much is too much. All right. Um, this is where we're at. I'm liking this. What needs work? Worked on the water. The water looks fine, I guess. That one's looking a bit mad. Just try and keep things moving in the same direction. Now that reminds me to something. I got a story. I guess better tell a story than talking about my religious philosophy, which isn't really based on anything other than opinion. You know, I mean, obviously it's based on things like I read things, you know, studying life and that, and you know, reading holy texts and whatnot as they refer to. But me, honestly, I always try and maintain my own opinion on things and exercise reasoning, and just more so just what sits right within my heart, within my spirit, because I don't think anything can really compensate for that. People say, oh, you know, it's not good to make your own rules and stuff, but I don't know, man. I don't know, like, you can't live life according to anybody else. It's your life. Do you know what I mean? And I don't believe all humans are here to do the same thing. You know, like even within the Bible, there's priesthoods and there's sects, and you know there's certain rules that apply to certain people, even within the Bible and the tribes of Israel. There's certain rules and certain things that aren't what's the word I want to use? Sorry, getting a bit that aren't necessarily applicable to all individuals within the tribes. Like there's certain tribes that have certain rules amongst them. I'm thinking specifically the Levites, the priesthood class. They had certain things that they were given by the Lord that they weren't necessarily that wasn't applicable to everybody else. So yeah, I like that. See, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Because now it does look like it's a halo, but at the same time, it looks like that it is actually the sun by the way the clouds are behind it, in front of it, and yeah. So yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah. So not using that as a justification, you know, because I don't feel like my thing needs I don't feel like one needs to justify themselves, and that's a dangerous thing, you know. Like, why do you need to justify yourself to who? Do you know what I mean? Like, the only person you would need to justify yourself to would be God, right? Quote unquote. But you know, yeah, like I said, this ain't a religious channel, so let's. Anyway, what I was gonna say before that was don't even remember. Don't even remember. But while we're on the topic of God, this image is based off the deity within Japanese mythology called Amaterasu, who is feminine, a female deity, female goddess rather, and interestingly enough, she is depicted as the solar deity within Japanese mythology. And if you know anything about deities and mythology, and you know, it's very rare that the female is assigned the position of of the solar deity. You know, so you know, this is a very interesting to me personally. You know, I think it requires thought. Yeah, I'm really liking that. I'm really liking that. That's nice. All right. Yeah, maybe it's a bit too much. Yeah, it's better. You don't want it completely obscured. Cool. All right. So that's boom. That's done. That part's done. What I'm gonna do now, the part I've been looking forward to is adding the flames now, because I do want it to be as a solar deity. You know, you think about heat, flames, and these things. So that's definitely a part I've been looking forward to. So I guess I can add it behind here. So what color I'd make the flames? I was thinking like a blue, to be honest, just because I think it would clash well with the with everything else that's going on. I was thinking orange, but I've put that thing behind her now. Let's just see how that looks. You know what? Let's try this out. Just see how this goes. So yeah, that's the background on the Amaterasu. Her name was. So if you didn't know and you're interested in such a thing, definitely go check it out. How's that gonna look? Hmm. I do like it. I feel like there's a lot going on now though. If I add this with the, but it is what it is, man. Right? It is what it is, man. And I just feel like too much can ruin a thing, but at the same time, I do want to kind of stick to what I intended to do with this piece. From the start, I knew I was gonna add this aspect. How's that looking? Right, that looks dope, but maybe I can definitely work on the elements of the flame because it's a very large stroke that I'm dealing with. Yeah, now that I've used Photoshop and that, I could definitely see the perks of Photoshop drawing, painting, as opposed to doing it on Illustrator. There's a lot more options in the paintbrushes, a lot more options with the strokes, you know. Um, yeah, and I'll be honest, man. Like this is probably cause I've got quite a backlog of work on Illustrator, you know. So it's definitely something that needs to be done. I need to do them. Like, I can't just leave them. But I'll be honest. Once I have, I don't see what I'll be using Illustrator for. Like maybe for like logos and that, like I said. But I don't be really making logos that often. You know, I mean for myself I do, but it's not like it's not work. I don't take commissions for logos, but I might need to start doing it. You know, because you need that money, right? You need that money. And I'm definitely confident enough now within Illustrator to start doing it. So why not, right? Why not? Like if you have a skill, use it. Like I wouldn't even say I'm lazy, but I've always been, don't want to sound like I'm Jesus or anything, but money has never really been like a massive motivator for me. You know, I'm more about I'm a very artist kind of artist, man. Like, you know, if my heart ain't in it, creating something is just a bit, you know, it's just, yeah. I'm that kind of artist. If my heart ain't in what I'm creating, I just don't even feel like doing it, which is a good thing and a bad thing because you know it definitely, you know, it teaches me to be more disciplined about things. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause sometimes you got to do things you don't want to do, but I feel like that's most of life. Most of life is doing things you don't really want to do. But I do believe in changing your mindset regarding that. You know, to say, oh well, maybe I don't want to do it, but this is necessary. Obviously, we understand that. Like going to work, I know I need to pay my bills. Otherwise, I'm gonna be homeless and shit. Stuff. Sorry. So I need to pay my bills. I know if I don't pay my bills, I'm not gonna have internet. I'm not gonna have this or that, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna have a space to do my art. So I need to pay my bills. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, life is a lot of doing stuff you don't necessarily want to do. So for me, art is definitely would be an escape from that, because art is creating is something I definitely want to do and I enjoy doing, and then to bring that energy of I don't want to do this but I have to do it, to bring that energy into my art is a bit not counterproductive, but I'm sure you know what I mean. It's just I would rather not. I would rather not. But like I said, if you're become so competent and proficient in something, it's almost a crime unto yourself and also against your fellow man if you can't humble yourself and say, all right, well maybe I don't want to do this, but you know, I'm clearly people clearly want me to do it, and um, yeah, but I feel like that line's got to be drawn because even though you have understand that every man, every woman is a surface onto humanity, you can't destroy yourself in that process. But I don't think, like, I think I'm going a bit far by saying I'll be destroying myself, right? Um, now look at this. Now look at this. Yeah, this is where it gets complicated a little bit because this is on a separate layer, and this layer is a thing unto itself, you know. So I've got to really how was that even looking? I do like that. I do like that. She looks really nice with the blue outline. But at the same time, it definitely it takes away something, but it does add something, and I'm just hoping what it adds is yeah, I do like this. I do like it. It can run. Probably should have made two versions, one without the flame and one without. If it was on its own layer, I probably could do that, but it's not. So I guess the one I had before I even started this, I could just go. The only thing I've really added so far is the water and the sun, which isn't a lot. So if I did want to go back and find one without this, without her having a flame behind her like this, it wouldn't be too much work, but it would come out a bit different from the obviously this version. But that's fine, That's one thing that is very beautiful about working digitally is that you don't have to make decisions like that. If this was a painting, I think, okay, I have to think a lot longer about the decision, and that decision would probably make me stagnate a little bit because, excuse me, with a lot of work, I feel like there's a point of flow, and once that flow is interrupted by a thought process, like me thinking, "Oh, what should I do next?" It definitely encourages what I would consider stagnation, amongst my work. It's like, all right, I decide, let me sleep on it, right? I'll say, let me sleep on it. This might be early in the morning. I'm working into early in the morning. I've got to that point where the thought process has started to kick in. I'm like, okay, um, let me start. I'll be probably sitting there for 10 minutes, just looking at it, thinking, well, should I add the flames? Should I just leave it like that? What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? I'll be thinking. I'm like, all right, let me sleep on it. Right? Let me sleep on it. Oh, yeah, let me sleep on it and make my decision in the morning. And then obviously you can imagine, I wake up, I still don't really know. Do you know what I mean? Still don't really know, and yeah, it just definitely makes ish a bit longer. But when you're working digital now, you can just save another file and just you know have fun. It's definitely more. I want to say it's more fun, but you're not worried you can ruin your work. I've never worked on a digital piece and thought, oh, I've ruined it. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Never, never. It's impossible. It's impossible for the most part to ruin your work digitally. Which definitely encourages experimentation, and it does make things more joyful, I guess, to a degree. You know, but I feel like painting is more rewarding generally. There was a point where this was more rewarding, but that's when I was kind of learning, learning how to do this. But for me, painting on canvas is the most rewarding. Hence why I probably do that more than anything else. Well, I would say more than anything else. I think the thing I do the most is drawing my sketchbook. But in terms of excluding that, because I feel like that's a very, it's almost a very intimate thing, really, to be honest. Beyond that, it's like it's definitely it's definitely painting. That's what I've painted on a canvas. Canvas is my favorite canvas to draw on. Funnily enough, I just love it. I love working on, like, the harder the surface, the more solid the surface, the better for me. Like, I like paper, but you could scrunch up paper. You know, um, I don't know where that comes from. It might have been. I remember in school one time I did a really nice picture, and someone just scrunched up my sketchbook, like, and I almost fought the kid in it. Everyone was saying, "Oh, fighting," but I'm not no fighter, man. I didn't have it in me to fight no one over something like that. But I was angry in it. I did let him know. I told him about himself. But yeah. But maybe it's from that. I don't know why, man. I don't think it's even from that. I'm capping. I'm definitely capping. It's just I just love working on solid surfaces. Like wood. If I get some wooden planks and paint on those, that's me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the harder the better. Cause I like permanent things. Like, paper's very easy to ruin. And I guess maybe it's just how I feel about my work. Maybe. But at the same time, I just feel like, definitely working on it is a bit definitely harder. I worked on some skateboards. I should definitely do a video. There will be a video of me going through, like, my work and my catalog of stuff, because there is a lot. Most of my work it doesn't. Most of my work isn't digital. Most of my work is actually like canvases and paper and even down to skateboards and that. Yeah. So keep your eyes peeled for that, man. They'll These stuff will definitely be coming to the channel. It's just I'm just in a odd phase right now where I'm just trying to adjust to putting out content on YouTube. So yeah, also forgive me if this video took a bit longer than you expected. You know, I think I've got like 5 subscribers at the time of me saying this, so it's not like I have a whole people waiting for me. But the sooner I get into that attitude, the better, right? Right, right. Of course, I'm right. Um, you know, definitely right about that. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm on at the moment, man. I like this. Should I add this onto the hair as well? Yeah, why not, man? It's already been kind of done. We're gonna add a bit of those as well, though, just to let let people know this is a fire. It's not just a. This is a real fire, man. You know, I'm getting lazy with the layers now, but it's because I'm reaching the end, and it's probably not an excuse really at all. But I'm thinking, should I even add some white onto it? Decisions, man. Decisions. Hmm. I'm just there looking at my thing. Looking at my things, man. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Back to this, my job. So it's Sunday here, so snowing actually. Funny or not anymore. Not anymore. It's not. It was snowing earlier today. Snow is always nice to see. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of snow, but it's so rare that it's definitely always nice to just see. There is something quite. I find snow therapeutic, really. Like rain. I think rain's therapeutic, but rain could be annoying. And obviously, snow is more annoying, but but there's something about snow that I really do like. I think it might be the color. It's just nice, man. It's just unusual. It's unusual. Like how many times a year does it snow? Do you know what I mean? How many years in 5 years? How many days in 5 years is there snow? You're barely a month's worth of snow is what? How many years worth in the UK? It's like it will snow maybe it's snowing no more than 10 times in a year. You know. So I remember one year it was just a mad snow. Like it was literally like every day it was snowing, and it was getting to the point where it started to get annoying. Um, that was a while ago. I don't know how old I was. Yo, in fact, that wasn't even that. No, it wasn't even that long ago. I must have been like 22 or 23 when that happened. So that's like 4 years ago. Um, yeah, like I don't know, man. Like it's been a few times where snowed a lot. Like you could go out and make a snowman, that kind of snow. Normally, it doesn't do that in UK. Normally, it snows, but it doesn't settle. So by a few hours, other than the cars that haven't been moved or been scraped off and dealt with, there's usually no evidence that it was snowing. I know in some places it's different. Like once it starts snowing, you're definitely gonna have a few days of big problems. But yeah, the UK actually has. It's funny enough, as much as it doesn't really happen, as much as it rarely happens, the UK for some reason can't really deal with the snow. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff that would just go wrong if it starts snowing too much. Um, yeah, so that's funny, funny thing that right, the snow. Um, Yeah, and it is very concerning for for people that do be living rough. It's that is when you do think, oh, like I feel like our country needs to do a lot better. I feel like us as a people, as a human race, need to do a lot better with shelter and that. But my thing is, man, I've seen things where it's like at the same time they're a lot more free than us. They're not bound by obligations. They're literally free to travel the world. If you think about it like that, like obviously the money thing will be a problem and the passport and address and these kind of things. But I mean, there's ways. There's ways. You know what I'm saying? And because we live on an island, UK, it's probably a bit more difficult to like get off this island without certain documentations. But I mean, in the event that you can, you have the whole world for you to explore, and there's nothing really stopping you other than borders and stuff like that. But I mean, if you're privy, I feel like you can get through anything. if you're determined enough, right? You know what I'm saying? If you're determined enough, what's gonna stop you, man? You really like that girl? What's gonna stop you from getting her if you really want her? You know what I mean? If she's even into guys, that's one thing. Maybe you're not her type. Maybe she ain't even into whatever you are. So let me not say anything. But most things, I believe, if you want it, you can get your hands on it. But it's like by the time you get that thing that you thought you wanted, guess what? You don't even want that thing the way you thought you did. That's been my experience with life. Most things I think I wanted, when I got it, I'm just like, okay, this is nice, but this isn't actually what I thought. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's my experience though. But don't let my experience be a be a determination of what you will experience. Especially if you're young, you definitely need to go out and feel and see things for yourself. It's definitely very advisable for you to listen to your elders. Especially if you trust them and hold them in high regard. But at the same time, I believe it's very important for you to be able to forge your own ideas and opinions on things, regardless if how much input you have from other people, because um, there's no experience like experience. you know, and there's no information like the one that you was able to obtain, you know. But don't be so blind as to just ignore good advice. Definitely always take things into account is what I'd say, you know, for the young viewers. But I'm kind of young myself still. I don't consider myself old by any means. So it's literally the blind leading the blind, right? But yeah, from being a bit older, you know, 27 at this point, um, yeah, I definitely say pay attention, man. Pay attention to those older than you, because I spend a lot of time around people older than me. You know, I want to say most of my friends are most of my friends are older than me, but like not by a crazy amount. You know, what I mean around my age, but I don't really have friends younger than me. You know, I'm trying to think. No, not really. Most of my friends are older than me. Most people I hang around with are older than me. You know, even if it's just by a few days, few months, few years. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but no, I do at the same time. I do spend time around amongst those I would consider elders, and you know, those reasonings and those discussions and the information that they share with me and life experiences. It's very helpful. You know, it's and it's important. I do believe discourse and engaging with your elders is a very yeah. It should probably be like that in it. Let's not get lazy now. It's very important. You know what I'm saying? It encourages thoughtfulness. You know, because you're gonna hear things that your peers, your peers your age are not gonna be. They're not gonna have their mind space in that situation, and that's okay because they're not that age, innit? They're young, and you have to enjoy your youth, and you know, just has your old as older people have a certain way of thinking, younger people have a certain way of thinking, and it's you know, just as it comes with its quote unquote positives, there's also quote unquote negatives. You know, there's positives. You know, you see things in a way that the elders can't, and both need to understand the fruitfulness of being able to see things, listen, especially being able to listen. That's a difficult thing. You know, even I have problems at times listening, but I'm definitely working on that every day to try and better myself in that regard because you know, you have two ears, as they say, and you only have one mouth. So, speak once, listen twice is the motto, I believe they say. I definitely try. I definitely do try, but some people be saying some stupid stuff, man. Let's be real, man. A lot of people say silly things, so it's kind of difficult at times to actually take certain things seriously. But they say a fool can learn more from a wise man. No, they say a wise man can learn more from a fool than a fool can learn from a wise man. So I always try and keep these I try to keep that in mind when I'm when I am listening to people, even if I think this is silly, you know, be just pay attention. I implore you, as difficult as it may be, because we all know, like I said, some people just make it very difficult. Very difficult. You probably listening to me thinking, man, what is this guy talking about? But I implore you, man, if you're able to pay attention and take something away, you know, it can only be a conducive to your development, you know. So yeah, that would be my piece of advice. You know, I'm in really no position to give advice, but still wouldn't feel right if I just sat here for God knows how long and just waffled and at no point tried to impart some sort of anything close to wisdom, you know. Yeah, and I guess that would be a subjective thing as well. Because if you agree with it, oh, that's kind of yeah, I hear what you're saying. But if you don't, then it's just shut up. What are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's definitely something to think about. Definitely waffling now. Let's try and get this finished up. So hopefully, what I intend to do with more of these videos is once I've mastered not Photoshop, um, Premiere Pro is I can start getting the blah, 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 the I got blank. Uh, the time lapses. If I could get the time lapses going, you know what I'm saying? That would be cool. That would be real cool if I can get the time lapses on. Um, Probably shouldn't take that long. It'll probably take a couple YouTube videos, and I'll know what to do. Um, you know, that's just time out my day. Everything's just time. Look at that. What is going on there? That's a no-no, man. I hope that isn't anywhere else. But isn't that meant to be? Look, see, that's what happens if you mess around with your layers, man. That's what happens if you mess around with your layers. You get that baloney. And I know you didn't come in to hear me sing, so let me look. Why is that happening? Why is that happening, man? There you go. Put that back on. Oh my Lord. Lord, please protect me from me. Like how, Sway? That bugs me out, man. You can't even really see it, to be honest. Let me go back to that later and not get distracted. But I mean, this is my fault. That's what you get for messing around with your layers and not being. I can't say messing around with them. I don't mess around with them. Not being consistent, not paying attention and being consistent with the layer format. Mixing layers, like I said earlier on, the more simple it is, and the earlier on it happens, it doesn't really seem like a big idea, a big problem. But as you move forward and as time goes on, and the more complicated the image gets, like at this point, it can really become a nuisance that yeah, definitely will teach you to be more more vigilant regarding what layer you're working on, and you know organized, so that can definitely run. Ooh, it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work, but I think we're there. I think we're there almost. Just gotta add this last one. I'll be honest, the flames, I think they could I could have gone without it, honestly. Because it does add an element to it that takes away from not the realism, but like I said though, I've got another version saved, so I can just go back. But this is the one I'm going to use for the conclusion of Concept Amaterasu. So, so if you're interested in this piece, you like this, you're like, hey, you know what? I would like that to be hanged up. Stay tuned. I'll let you definitely know how you can acquire this piece. I'm definitely trying to. That's why I need my. That's why I probably do need my website, obviously, regarding like the purchasing and where to find my work. It makes more sense for me to have a. That's not what I did. That makes more sense for me to. Bruh, so annoying. Makes more sense for me to have a website regarding that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, in that sense, definitely yeah. But what I'm saying regarding this piece, how will it be available? It will be available at some point. Um, but I do like my work to sort of garner attraction. I do like to say, hey, where can I get this? And then I'm like, all right, that one I know people want. Let me put it out there. But the promotion side of my work and getting my work out there has been something. I'm gonna say I struggled with, but I haven't really put much emphasis on it. I've always been more about the art, like I said, than the revenue it can generate. Even though I know my art is very much in very much requested and in high demand among some people. So maybe it's complacency a bit on my side, but it's just like, all right, I know when the time comes, right? When the time comes, and I want to do this like proper full time, and start making big bucks with my art, I could just jump on that and do that. But for now, like I said, I've always just been I'm an artist. I'm more just concerned with trying to be the best I can be as an artist, and you know really explore myself in that aspect. All the other stuff can come later. It's important, obviously, especially if I'm making art. It's important for people to know how to get it. But I want to be whole within myself as an artist and happy with the work I produce. Because a lot of work that people want to buy, half the time I don't even feel like it's even not worth buying. But I don't know. Maybe it's just that artist insecurity. But I just feel like, no, not yet. You know. So this is Concept Amaterasu. Is there anything else I can add? This is looking a bit mad over here. This needs more work for sure. Concept Amaterasu version 1, I suppose is what it could be called. And yeah, these videos I've been making so far haven't been like edited or anything. So it's just like raw footage essentially. Haven't cut it, haven't made it like that, which I need to start doing. I need to start respecting your time as well as mine and actually, you know what I'm saying, make it watchable. Because right now it's just literally raw footage that only a very few people are going to sit down and watch in its entirety, if at all. You know what I mean? Even 10 minutes is a bit like, who's got time? You know what I mean? It's like if you leave it on, maybe, but no one's going to be proactively sitting down and watching this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if I was doing more of a tutorial of the things of how I'm doing it, but I'm not even doing that. I'm just literally demonstrating how I do something or demonstrating what I'm doing live. I'll be honest, I'm tired. I'm tired and this is looking done. This is done as far as I'm concerned. This is Concept Amaterasu. Yeah. So I'll probably do a video at the end, another video of like I don't know, maybe like a foot. I'll do like a montage at a video montage, and then the final product, and where to get it and whatnot. But this is Concept Amaterasu, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, hold on. No, it's not yet. I need to do one last thing. One last look. Look at that pour. You're probably thinking that's not a big deal. To me, it is, man. This is what I'm saying. It's like things got to be perfect, dog. Otherwise, it's just. Yep, there we go. Probably could make these look a bit more. It's fine though. It's fine. This is fine. This is fine. This is Concept Amaterasu. Wait, no, it's not. I really should, shouldn't I? Let's not be lazy, Gus. You've done so well, you know. See, all it takes is a bit of that. Look, that looks so much nicer already. Just a few on each one. I haven't got to. Yeah, boom. See, that looks so much more dynamic. Way more dynamic, right? That's what we're about, man. We're about that dynamics ish. That looks so much better, doesn't it? Before it was looking flat. That is probably the final touch it needed. I'm happy I didn't just, yeah, it's done, boom, bye. Because I really do want to do that. I really want to be over with this. As bad as that sounds, I love this piece. I've grown to love it. Like I love all my children, my pieces of art. That's how I consider them, like children. But yeah, man, this needed to end. Still, this needed to end, man. We need to move on. And that's the thing I've learned. It's like with art, you need to learn when to say, all right, man, that's it. That's something I struggled with. I would hang on to something for so long, trying to make it perfect, and it's just like, well, there is definitely merit in it. You know, definitely merit in it. At the same time, it's just like, okay, I've definitely got to add it on top of that. It's just a bit of like perfectionism. I hear it's undercover insecurity or something like that. You feel the need to be perfect and everything. But no, dog, I made as a creator, I want my things to be perfect. But they're like, oh, that's a projection of you feeling inadequate or something. And I hear that. And they're probably right to an extent. But yeah, perfection is something not to attain to or aspire to, but it is a motivational thing for me. Especially when you've created something and you love it, you want it to be the best it can be, right? Do you know what I mean? You don't want to just half-ass something. My dad always said, if you ain't gonna do something, if you're gonna do something, do it properly or not at all. So we have Concept Amaterasu. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for spending time with me during the process. I'm gonna post this up on Instagram, and yeah, keep the other file saved for myself without the file, and then I'll probably do something with that one. But this is the one that the people are getting. Concept Amaterasu, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you next time. And don't forget to like and comment. And yeah, check out my work on Instagram via the bio. That's going to be Gus Brooks Art or BKA Studios. Love and power, ladies and gentlemen. Catch you on the other side.